I'ma blow up.
What's going on, Dragonball fans? This is your boy, What a Struggle, coming at you with a brand new video. And up next here, we're going to talk a little bit about the Dragonball Super movie here. Obviously, I'm very excited to see it. I mean, obviously, I don't live in Japan, so I'm probably going to have to watch it online or however it is I'm going to do it. But it's going to take place, I think it's going to talk about the origins of the saiyans. However, we're going to get right into the origins of the saiyans here because I got this story here, and I'm actually going to read it off. But it talks a little bit about the saiyans, about their origins. It talks a little bit about the first ever Super Saiyan. So it says, long ago on Earth, before there were civilizations, there lived several tribes of humanoids. Among these humanoids were the humans, the Triclops, and the Saiyans. So I'm guessing those were the three tribes, that kind of ran it or whatever. Anyways, each lived in their own tribes. Only rarely did these tribes ever cross paths. Hundreds of years later, these tribes began to form civilizations, and all of these races started interacting with each other. The humans would hunt to supply meat and butcher then sell it. The Triclops acted as spiritual leaders and led ceremonies. The Saiyans would farm the land and would barter with the humans for meat. These races would often marry into other races to build balanced societies. Eventually, there developed a problem. Every full moon, there was a rampage of giant apes that would decimate total civilizations. Not long after the humans discovered that the Saiyans had tails similar to that of gray apes, and asked the Triclops to cleanse the Saiyans during the next full moon. This led to the near extinctions of the Triclops and caused a feud between the Saiyans and the humans. Each blamed the other for the slaughter of their spiritual leaders. The Saiyan-Human War began 5 years after the start of the feud and spread across the whole world. Most had forgotten how the feud began and were constantly at war with each other. The humans were winning for 500 years, but the experienced leaders of the Saiyan army would get so strong after each battle and were starting to gain the advantage. The king of the Saiyans could take on 100 humans without breaking a single sweat. One day, the humans devised a plan to ambush the Saiyans at night. The strong Saiyan race was faced with near extinction. The next morning, a Saiyan that was in his 20s saw that his whole family had been slaughtered and found his wife an inch from death begging him to save the others. As she died in the arms, the grief was so unbearable that he became so enraged that his hair turned blonde and his face had the look of anger etched on his face. The first Super Saiyan had risen with power of 50 Saiyans and decimated 1 million human soldiers. As soldier after soldier who fell by this mysterious golden warrior, the remaining Saiyans, they rallied back. As the war went on, the humans started using weird jolts of energy to combat the Golden Warrior and defeated him in battle. As he sat there angered at his loss of power, doubled, then quadrupled in power, he challenged the humans again during the day of the full moon, but was only matching to power of the humans at night, fell, and suddenly a golden great ape erupted from his body. The ape caused mass destruction and wiped out 2/3 of the humans. He then heard the cries of a half-human, half-Saiyan crying, wishing he realized that all of his fighting was causing so much loss on both sides. He climbed down and became what was a tall, half-ape, half-humanoid looking creature. This red-furred warrior decided to take him and his power to a different planet to end the war with the humans and live in peace again. After going from planet to planet, the Saiyans found a home on Planet Plant and were welcomed by the Tuffles with open arms. Life on the Tuffles was peaceful, but they did have their differences and would often have a little brawl, but nothing too serious. Nearly 1,000 years later, a feud began with the Tuffles and the Saiyans. But again, nothing, again, was too serious. It wasn't until the king of the Saiyans was found with the daughter of the royal Tuffle family that began what we all now know as the Saiyan-Tuffle War. So that was the origins of the Saiyans. I know in this Dragon Ball movie it is very, very hard to determine, what's going to make of this new, how they're going to implement this new war, because I know if this movie, the Dragon Ball Super movie, is going to talk about the origins of the Saiyans, which has been confirmed, this Saiyan that we all saw has to be Yamoshi. I mean, he's the guy that is most talked about. So I'm thinking that it is him. I could be wrong. It could be some weird ass villain. I don't know. I mean, it would make sense that it was Yamoshi, right? I just wonder how Frieza is going to play a huge part in this, because I know Frieza was actually supposed to have a specific role in this movie to tell people how he was involved with the entire Saiyan race. So that's very exciting. But anyways, if you guys like this video, make sure to like and comment, share, and subscribe. I'm still new, and I finally got me a mic. So again, this has been what a struggle. So, as always, peace.
Tell me pretty lies, look me in the face. Tell me that you love me, even if it's fake.